Raoul, thank you very much. I've been asked for a 7-minute pitch, so usually I talk for about 2.5 hours, maybe 3. I have to bring it back to 7 minutes. So what I did was just take one aspect out of the usual presentation, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. I am Raoul Schepers. I've been a certified public accountant. In Holland that's called register accountant. I am no more. I am very concerned though, and I'm being and will be more and more angry. And that's a good thing. Today I'll give you three lectures. The first one is called Alchemy for Professionals. And we're all professionals. Let's assume we invite 8 parties and we call them banks. And they have fictitious names like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Barclays, and SHBC. We put them in a circle, we deregulate the situation, and we give them some money. And then we ask them to play a game, and they can dictate the rules of the game themselves. Then they start playing this game, and the money goes around. They're making money. And then once of a sudden they stop. They make up their balances and they file their quarterly reports. And what we see is billions and billions of profits. And everybody wonders what they're doing. And nobody knows. And then they use terms like CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, or mortgage-backed securities, or asset-backed securities, or credit default swaps. And nobody understands what they're doing, but they're making billions of dollars of profit each quarter. So let's try to understand what they do, and let's try lecture number 2, Accounting for Professionals. And we're all professionals, so I'm going to teach you. Let's say we create an economy of 2 parties, each with a bag of money containing $1,000, and party 1 brings into this economy 1 bag of potatoes. You can call them CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, but let's just say it's a bag of potatoes. Now what party A does, he prices the bag of potatoes for $5 and then offers the potatoes to party B. They enter into a transaction. Party A sells the potatoes to party B. Party B buys the potatoes and pays $5. And this is what happens. What we see now is that party A has $1,005, party B has $999 and a bag of potatoes. So our economy still contains $2,000 and 1 bag of potatoes. Only what happened now is that party A made a profit of $5. Now party B reprices the potatoes to $10. They enter into a transaction. And what happens now is that party B has $1,005, party A has $995 and a bag of potatoes. Only now both parties made a profit of $5. And our economy still contains $2,000 and 1 bag of potatoes. So we can do this again. We'll reprice the potatoes to $15. Enter into a transaction. Then after this transaction, we reprice the potatoes to $20, enter into a new transaction. And look what happens. Party B now has $1,010. Party A has $990 and a bag of potatoes. So our economy still contains $2,000 and 1 bag of potatoes. Only now 2 parties made $10 profit. That's unique. The economy did not grow. The amount of money is still the same. And there's still only 1 bag of potatoes. Only now 2 parties made $10 of profit. How does this work? We have these international financial reporting standards. And these standards define fair value as the amount for which an asset, a bag of potatoes in this case, could be exchanged between 2 informed and willing parties. This says that the fair value of the bag of potatoes equals the amount paid for the potatoes or equals the price of the potatoes. Now that's odd. What this definition says in a sense is that the fair value of the bag of potatoes equals the price of the bag of potatoes. So when the price goes up, the fair value goes up. Now that's strange. I could explain to a 12-year-old there is a principal difference between the value of something and the price of something. Like if I would sell you a bicycle for $10, it could be worth 100. I just stole it at Central Station. I could also sell you a bike for $100 and it's only worth $10 because once you start driving it, you understand that it's a wreck. There's a principal difference between the value of an asset and the price of an asset. But according to the International Financial Reporting Standards, the fair value equals the price. So pushing up the price of an asset pushes up the fair value of the asset, and then pushes up the profit. And that's what banks did with their CDOs. The CDOs went up in price, but never in value. This is what happens. We go on in our economy, we reprice the bag of potatoes, and then we start exchanging it in new transactions over and over and over again. And every time the transaction is done, the price of the bag of potatoes goes up, so the fair value goes up. So we make huge profits. And after a while, we make up our balances, and we can see that now Party B has $1,250, Party A has $750, and a bag of potatoes. Now still, the economy did not grow. We have $2,000 within the economy and one bag of potatoes. Only now, two parties made $250 profit each. That's cute. Only now, looking at Party B has a bag now full of money with $1,250, and Party A only has $750 and a bag of potatoes priced for $500. So Party A doesn't really feel this good in this transaction. Now what Party A does, and that's what the banks did, they sold their assets outside their economy into what's called the real economy for the price they gave the CDOs. So for the price of potatoes. What we do now is sell this bag of potatoes outside this economy into the real economy and cash $500. And then what happens, both parties now have a bag of money filled with $1,250. They both made a profit and realized a profit of $250, and now they started paying the dividends and the bonuses according to these profits. This is alchemy. What the banks did is make money out of thin air or out of nothing. This is alchemy. Based on accountancy, based on the rules defined in the International Financial Reporting Standards.
You saw things outside of the system, and I wonder what party is it outside of the system?
Okay, what the banks did, everybody was looking at the banks and saw their huge profits, and everybody said, we want a part of that profit. So the banks started to sell the CDOs to the other parties in the real economy, to pension funds and other investors, other banks, smaller banks, also Dutch banks. And they all started to buy these CDOs and started transferring these CDOs within the system in the real economy. And they really paid the high price, the overrated price, the overvalued price. It's not fair, I know. But the question is, the real question is it fair or is it illegal?